beauties, and welcome back to Cookbes Food. It's officially fall. That's so exciting, but you know what that means? You do, right? That means if you're actually a foodie like me, you probably went to your local grocery store and got the biggest pumpkin you can find. This is definitely not the one I picked. This is the one my husband picked. The one I picked was about this big. But anyways, most recipes out there actually either use it for soup or a dessert. But I'm here today to tell you that there's a lot more you can do with the pumpkin. So I made you these savory pumpkin pies. These pies are very special because first of all, they're extremely tasty and they have pumpkin in everything. So the dough is made from pumpkin and the stuffing contains pumpkin. Let me go ahead and show you how to make it.
Add 1 tablespoon of yeast and 1 tablespoon of sugar. I'm using this homemade pumpkin puree. You can use half a store-bought can. At the beginning, then you need to mix everything until they get incorporated. Add 1/4 teaspoon of salt and almost a tablespoon of pumpkin spice with 3 cups of white flour. I'm using my cookie machine to knead the dough for me, but if you don't have a machine, feel free to knead it on your own. I can't tell you exactly how much of pumpkin puree you need to add because each puree has a different percentage of water and each flour type has a different percentage of absorbency. So just keep adding more puree until the dough comes together and it's very soft to the touch, but it yet doesn't stick to your hands. At this point, you want to shape it into a ball and place it back into the bowl and let it rest for an hour and a half. Now for the stuffing, add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, half a red onion, and 1 cup of chopped pumpkin squares. Let this cook until the onions become transparent and the pumpkin squares become tender. It should look something like this. At this point, add half a pound of ground beef and break it down with your spatula or spoon. Then add a pinch of pumpkin spice and some of your favorite seasoning. I'm just adding this one. Once the spices are aromatic and the beef is fully cooked, it should look something like this. At this stage, you want to let it cool down fully to room temperature, and we can start working on the dough at this point. You can cut up the dough into 8 pieces. If you want it to become bigger, feel free to reduce the number of pieces, but here I'm cutting it into 8 pieces and making sure that they're the same size. Then once you have your pieces cut, you can take each individual one and wrap it up on itself until it becomes a smooth ball, and then pinch it from the bottom to close it up so it doesn't open back up. Then roll it in the palm of your hand and continue with the same steps for the rest of them and cover them with a clean towel and let them sit at room temperature. Here I'm zeroing out my balance to make sure that the cup is not getting measured, and then I'm breaking the stuffing into 8 equal pieces to make sure that all of the pies have the same amount of stuffing. So they came up to about 47 grams for each one. Then I started rolling each dough out and I tried to elongate them in between each rolls. I turned it to the other side just to make sure that also the sides are rolled. Once it's elongated, I placed the stuffing inside and pinched it from the top to the bottom, closing it fully. Once I made sure it's all closed up, I turned it on the other side and kind of just pushed it down. And I cut it from corner to corner on the long side using scissors. Then I placed it down and I stuffed it with mozzarella cheese and sharp cheddar cheese. To make sure they become golden after baking, I mixed 1 egg with 1 tablespoon of milk and 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and then I made sure that it's very well mixed and I brushed it on the sides of the dough. After that, I sprinkled a mix of black and white sesame seeds on top of the cheese and I baked it at 450 degrees for about 15 minutes. And look at this, guys, it's so perfect. The cheese is melted and everything is cooked to perfection and it just tastes like a pumpkin heaven.
Let's give it a try. You're literally gonna get addicted to these. They're so good.